5, 4, 3.
Welcome, everyone, and pull up a seat at the table. It's Lunchtime in Rome. Tonight's episode, 290, is entitled Emonie Campbell. Emonie lives life to the fullest and teaches students at Woodland Hills High School to do the same. We'll get to know her at the table this evening. So pull up a seat and join us. First-time listeners can subscribe on your favorite podcast app or watch us live or later on YouTube at Lunchtime in Rome. Visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com, and while there, you can take our relational needs questionnaire. Make sure to follow us on all social media, and it'd be great if you gave us a 5-star review. Jay, what specifically is this podcast about?
At the table, we strive to love one another and help you to do the same. Some weeks we will have someone join us, like this week, so that you can get to know them and learn a little bit about yourself in the process. Other weeks we dive into a topic. Romans 12:15 says to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. Well, that's what we do. So while it may not be 12:15 in Rome, we're treating it like it is
Lunchtime in Rome.
Hi, Emonie.
Emonie Campbell.
Yeah.
So you know her quite a bit.
It's a get, man. It's a get to get her on this podcast.
Is it?
Heck yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's tough. We scheduled it with her publicist, ran it past the scheduler, so many steps.
Did you guys realize it was going to happen in the midst of Noah's second flood?
No, God did not reveal that to me. But for those breaking 90 and even Groot and whatnot that are not from here, it hasn't stopped raining ever.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's been crazy, but we were off last week
Yeah.
because we were not here.
I haven't been here for like 2 or 3, I don't think.
Yeah.
2.
Oh well, all of us weren't here last week because we were on vacation.
Yeah, we were. Man, were we on vacation.
I figured we'd talk let's like bang out vacation, like best of, like what were our favorites. And
Sure.
then, yeah.
And that's our update or separate?
Well, I was going to talk about my separate update, but
Okay.
we were all together at some point on vacation.
We were. Well, not Emonie.
Right, she was not there.
Next year, though.
In spirit.
But
Emonie's ready for that.
I think my favorite thing on vacation, other than the food, because the food is always just so
That's
good.
Yeah, so good.
But it was a real breakout year for Maggie in the ocean. Like,
Oh, she got broke up.
she
You know,
did get broken. But
So Maggie's his 6-year-old daughter.
yeah, and she was learning how to body surf and just jumping through waves.
Didn't have
in
to hold
waves,
on
Didn't have to
anymore,
hold on.
didn't-
Yeah,
you could.
only when I got a little nervous. When she was getting a little too far away and just
Well,
needed
there
to
was
get
a
her
big
back.
sideways current.
Big sideways curve.
And so we would go way up the
Yeah.
up the beach, get in, and kind of bebop down. And I made sure that Abby, Brian's daughter, was on the one side of Maggie, and I'd be on the other. But
Yeah.
it was fine.
It was great, but she did face plant and then head over heels. Scorpion just took it.
gosh.
Oh, it was so bad.
Money, I saw her head. She was body surfing. I mean, the last 10
It was
feet
a
of
great
the-
wave. It was a great wave.
And I saw her head go down, and then I saw like her stomach, and she flipped over, but her head hadn't come up yet. No, she was backwards. She wasn't body, or she got twisted because she was looking up.
Her feet came over, so when you saw her stomach, her feet were now in front.
Yes.
And her head was
her
facing
feet
the
had
other way.
re-entered the water,
Yeah.
but her face had not come up yet.
Right.
Oh my god.
So she had gotten completely. I mean, I remember I was like, "Oh no!" Oh, it was delightful.
And it was right after I was having like the best father-daughter time I might have ever had with her.
Wow, ever.
I mean, it was one of those moments where we were walking along the beach, and there was another family with us, and they have their son Noah, and we call her Aunt Lauren, and she had said something about Noah and Lauren. I was like, "Oh, do you want to go do something with Noah?" And she was like, "No, I don't want Noah time. I want you time, Dada." And I was like, "Well, that's what we'll do for however long you want." Because I
Grown
was
man crying on the beach.
But I did not end up being the person that cried. It was Maggie after taking that wave. I was like, dang it.
And wait, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing that Amy came back from lunch at that exact moment? Like, is it good because she got to be comforted by mommy, or
this is kind of one of the first times this has ever happened. It was kind of strange. So it was good because she usually wants mommy after something like this happens. Sure. But I carried her up. But then, like, as she was like in recovery mode, she wanted to sit with me.
Ooh.
Which that normally doesn't happen. It's usually then it's like mommy, like she gets her comfort, and then
Yeah.
But
Maybe she was so terrified, and you were the father figure.
I picked her up,
Yeah.
carried her. Could be. And we were having fun. We were having a fun moment, and we
was a
were,
great
you know,
moment.
so.
And she did rally and went back in.
She did, which I was so proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that could have gone, like, we're never getting in the waves again.
Sure.
Traumatized.
Bonnie, are you an ocean person or no?
I love the ocean.
Aw.
It's the best.
Yes, I will put myself in the waves and
Yeah.
just dunk myself and let the waves carry me.
Oh, that's the best.
It is the best.
Yes.
That was your favorite part.
Yeah, that and the food. Mm-hmm. And the time with family.
Sure.
And games at night. And all the things. We do
We do vacation well. And for me, I would say my favorite part in general was that it was restful and I felt recharged.
Yeah,
And very
that's
often
great.
you're just differently tired
Yeah.
when you come
Right.
back from vacation.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's things I was thinking about young life and church, and the theme for me a lot as far as like downtime on vacation was perspective, and a lot of that was sort of teaching and parenting Joe and Bella, but also for myself. And so, that I've always said life is a battle of get to versus have to. If you go through life saying I have to go to this meeting, no, you get to go to this meeting. Oh, I have to go to the high school.
Yeah.
You get to go to the high, So it's a real amount of perspective. So that's the general best part, being rested and rejuvenated. Specifically was, with not all due respect, was the house. Like
Yeah.
we found this in late February, and being third row, it wasn't too far from the ocean, 6-7 minute walk.
I timed it. It was 4. Like,
Oh,
remember,
really?
like from the door to the like beach entrance. It's
Yeah,
like 4.
it was 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. But also, we had a really long driveway, so we were set back from the road. We were next to a naval base, so there was nobody behind us, and literally behind us was Lake Tecumseh, the bay. So we had a giant pool. Like if you were in that backyard, you could have been in. It felt like you were in, Oregon or something with the big pine trees. You couldn't hear anybody else.
Right.
No,
So you could have
that's good.
beach, you could have pool, or you could fish out the back. And I guess one of my favorite things was Bella's new passion for fishing.
I know.
Never done it. In
I
her
never
life.
saw that one coming. She was like, she wanted it so bad.
And she did get one.
She did.
And she.
I didn't get any.
No, Joe didn't get any. But
Jay got one.
I had 3. Thank you very much.
Jay had 3.
One of which we ate as much
Yeah.
as I could get out of it.
It was one of the
largemouth
most
bath.
delicious bites of fish I've ever
And I
had.
said largemouth bath.
Right.
Didn't realize they had those down there in Virginia.
I tell you, so they got everything.
Yeah.
Brian, you've had 2 vacations.
I have had 2 vacations. It's been kind of a whirlwind. Yeah, so I don't know what it was. 3 weeks ago now, we were down in Baltimore and then Annapolis and then DC for a couple days, which lots of stories from that. But one of my favorites is we went and saw the National Archives Constitution, Declaration, Bill of Rights. And it was the one moment in the whole trip where Ethan just kind of melted down a little bit. And we were hot, like it was so hot, and we did I did the stereotypical dad thing. Let's go. We're gonna walk the mall, and I want to see this thing.
Got your white New Balances on and cargo shorts and ready to go.
I did.
Map out.
No, I had pants on. I had pants in my my compression socks.
Brian has bad feet.
I have bad feet. But so we're in the National Archives the week of the 4th of July, looking at the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution.
And 18-year-old Ethan's crying.
18-year-old Ethan. I asked him afterwards, and he just had about a bad half hour, about the worst half hour I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
And he rallied after a while, but I asked him after we got out, so what'd you think, bud? A bunch of paper. It was a bunch of paper.
In script.
I
It
almost
was written in script.
I almost broke him. What happened to Maggie with that wave? I almost did that to Ethan physically. But we had a great time. He and I had a great time kayaking down in Annapolis, and then we came back for a couple of days, and I wasn't really sure we were going to be able to get down to the beach, but you guys were so come on down, it'll be great, and I had a very small window of time to be able to get there, and if we were going to drive that 8 hours,
I'm really glad we talked you into it.
I wanted to make sure that if I had that 8 hours, I wanted to lay on the beach for at least a day, and it just looked really bad. I kept looking at the radar religiously for that whole previous week, and it just looked terrible. There's a tropical storm coming through or whatever. And then Sunday morning just kind of cleared up. I texted you guys, what's it like down there? What's the vibe like? And Eric sends me a picture of Maggie on the beach in the blue sky, and he's like, she's flying a kite, and I'm like, all right, that's it. We're going right now. So Abby was at church doing the sound in the sound booth. I texted her because I wasn't at church,
You're
but
like,
I
I'm
texted.
getting your winter boots ready and your pants. We're going to the beach.
I was like, we're going to the beach. And she was like, actually? I was like, yeah, we're going to leave as soon as you get home. And so we did, and it was great. So, and then her and I had just a great, my daughter's 13, and we had 8 hours of either she was quiet or we had some really intense conversations, like about the will of God, which was great.
wow.
Light conversations on the way down.
Yeah,
Like you
we
do.
do, and then everything in between, really, And she's just a brilliant human being. I love her. I love her so much.
It was great for me. It started at the one Friday Night Live that we did when she and I just ended up in Fellowship Hall alone, and she was like, she wanted a walking taco, so I made her one, and it was probably the first real conversation we've ever had
Yeah.
because she's not a talkative
Right.
in general. I'm sure in close circles she is, but on vacation, I mean, we had great conversations.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that.
You
Yeah.
know, and I even said to her, I'm like, we should get lunch when we get back. And even as I said it, I'm like, it's kind of a big ask. And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah,
same
so-
thing. Rachel and Bella said same thing. And it was sort of Abby's coming out party in a lot of ways.
It was, yeah. She hung with us all, Tuesday night. She was up until everybody else went to bed. And, but yeah, her like just a great time with her. I try not to take that for granted because, like you said, you get to do it, and that's one of those things where, like, I can't believe we get to do it.
Yeah.
She's the son you always
She's the son I've always hoped I
Wanted.
had. And your meal on Monday night, I mean, the shrimp boil is always great.
It's always great.
But clams and the
Scallops.
scallops were so good, and just the
seafood.
chicken. Yeah,
He's so good.
He cooks.
Some people like don't eat like that on vacation. Is that not
That's
ridiculous?
crazy.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
We went out once to eat.
Yeah.
That was the most that we spent as much on that meal
Yeah.
as we did on probably all the other meals combined.
Yeah.
It's so
Wow.
expensive to go out to eat. When we're in DC, like we breakfast, we had breakfast
What'd you have?
$100.
What'd you have?
Breakfast. When we were in DC, the
$100 breakfast?
across the street from us was this place called Paris Baguette, and you walk in and you get a tray, and they have all these just amazing pastries and donuts and things like that. And then they also have like freshly made that morning hot sandwiches that they'll heat up for you. So you just put everything on this tray, drinks, all this stuff, and then you take it up. And they're like we're just, the first day especially, we're just putting stuff on the tray, and we walk up and he's like ringing that up and ringing that up and ringing. I'm just
like the
looking.
guy at the auction. He's like, we got a $4.99. We got a $10.99.
we got two at $13.45.
Brian's adding the numbers up in
Yeah.
his head like, oh my gosh, what have we done?
$100 breakfast. And then the second day we're walking around DC, and again it's like 95 degrees and we're melting, and we just got turned away from the Air and Space Museum. Couldn't get in it. You had to reserve your time.
Nice. At least you walked there, though.
We walked there, yeah. Right. We did take the metro a lot, but even still, just coming up above ground, it was so hot. So we're walking away to go back to the metro, and we're just melting, and we pass all these food trucks, and there's this one that just looked beautiful. It was all drinks and
An oasis in the
Yeah,
desert.
yeah, drinks and milkshakes.
I
And
wasn't even there.
He knows what he's doing.
Abby just,
Brian put $20 into a tree.
I don't know, it seems okay.
Some homeless man comes and hands him his cup.
His urine cup, his pee cup.
Yeah, we were a little disoriented, but we did stop at this thing, and this we got a smooth. Me and Ethan and Abby got the same thing. It was a mango smoothie.
Okay.
And then Lex got a tea.
Boba.
$40.
There you go.
$40 for 4
It's
drinks.
so worth it.
I mean,
Was it good?
Like, I
it was
just
pretty
want
good,
one.
but
Not
I
$10,
felt like
huh?
John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, where like she orders the $5 milkshake. I mean, this is back in the mid '90s. Like, you just
Yeah.
ordered a $5 shake. That's ice cream and milk, and she's like, yeah. He's like, that better be a fucking good shake, you know.
Gotta get that bleep button going.
I didn't say it.
So, Jay, you were talking about coming back and being refreshed, and I feel like this is the first time that I have felt that way
Good.
in a few years. Having kids at some point, it's a lot of, like, parenting just somewhere else.
Yep.
You know,
Pay a
but
couple $1,000s to have your kids be disappointed somewhere
Yes.
other than your home.
yes. But we had a great time, and I even had a bookend day on Monday where got some stuff done around the house and just kind of relaxed and did some things. And then Tuesday came, which was yesterday.
It happens.
And it does. And I got up, logged on to work, saw a couple things, took Maggie to camp, come back, work all day, get through the mountain of email that I had to come back to, make dinner, take Maggie to softball practice. Brad comes and picks me up to take me to worship practice. Ben takes me home. I get the car, and then I come over to Jay's for the night. So, like,
Sheesh.
first day back, all in,
Big day.
head first. I'm tired, but I still wanted to come to Tuesday night. And then Amy texts me. It's like 11 o'clock.
Never good.
Never good.
Oh, you mean right when we're starting?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was like, why are we starting this like on time tonight? Everybody was talking. It was really loud, but really fun.
It was fun.
And
Amy texts you at 11.
Amy texts me at 11. He's like, when are you getting home? Or when are you coming home? And I was like, 15, 20
When I
minutes maybe.
feel like it.
That's how he talks to her. That is, you know it.
Man, he's vicious to her.
And I was guessing like 15, 20. And then
The
you
episode
had paused
would
it
end.
at some point. I was like, oh no. I was like, it's
2
more,
hours
it's more
later.
like 25, 30.
You don't know why she wants you to be home.
Well, then
Yeah.
she messages and she's like, there's a smoke alarm going off, not because there's a fire, but because it's like, running out of battery or whatever. So,
Is it doing the chirp?
Yes, it's every 30 seconds. Chirp. And so she found it, came down. It was the one down here. So she looks at it. She can't get it shut off. She shoves it under pillows and blankets. So
She can't yank a battery out?
we'll come to that. So
Love her
right.
dearly.
Then she found it. Then like 2 minutes later, there's another one. I hear another one, and it's the one in Maggie's room. So she gets the stool, gets that one down. She's like, I put it in the bathroom. It's in the
Toilet.
bathroom. Yeah. She might as well have. Like,
Does anybody
that would actually
know
been fine.
the Friends episode where that happened?
No.
Oh, and Phoebe eventually like rips it out of the wall and breaks it with a hammer, and and
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
So I come home and we have these smoke alarms that were installed by the one and only
Mike Nagy,
Mike Nagy.
friend of ours that owned the house before Eric.
Yes,
Okay.
we bought the house from them, and they're very
Real handyman.
yeah, awesome guy. And he was the fire chief for
West Mifflin.
West Mifflin, McKee, West Mifflin, and so he installed these ones that they're good for 10 years. You don't replace. There's no battery to replace. They're just good for 10 years.
So you did need to use a hammer.
After the 10 years is up, then you get rid of them. There's a slot that you put a screwdriver in on the backside of it that is under paper that you have to like puncture, and then you turn that, and that's how you deactivate it. All right, so we go to bed. you can see where this is going. 4 o'clock. Chirp, chirp. And I can hear it because like I don't feel like I ever went to sleep last night. I felt like it was in that twilight zone all night, and I go down. It's the one in the hallway out here. Chirp. Get that deactivated. All right, go back to bed. 5:15. Chirp.
They all died at the same time.
Because they all like he must have
Yeah.
put them in all in the same
Yeah,
day.
but what are the odds that
What
just
is it?
somehow
Right. Well, and the one that didn't go off.
I know.
The one in the kitchen that sometimes goes off when like you got like a hot steak on the stove or
No.
or bacon coming
know-
out of the oven.
You
Like,
know the one that didn't go off yet? It's the one that Mike hid somewhere, like
no,
in your
they're all
wall
down-
or
they're
under your
all-
floorboard.
They're
No,
all
he's
gone.
too good of a guy for that. That would have been a good move.
We're not going to be here when that
That would have
happens.
been brutal. That would have been brutal. So I'm running on very poor sleep, not enough sleep, after a day of a big day and then another big day today.
After a week of vacation.
I'm not saying vacation was deleted. It wasn't. But man, I'm dragging right now.
No, and I said that earlier. I hit a wall today.
Oh,
I love it. And it's the
hard.
weather, the rain,
It's
whatever
everything.
else. I don't know. But one thing that lifts me up.
What lifts you up?
Are those who sit at the head of the table. Amani, let me tell you, there are people who go to lunchtimeinroom.com and they become a paid subscriber. And when they do that, they are effectively placing themselves at the head of the table for Lunchtime in Rome. And so we want to thank Groot from the Hooked on Jesus podcast, Laurie Ann, Bethany Jaworski, Mary Lynn, my sister, Ashley, and Breaking 90 for sitting at the head of the table. And we've said we've got a buy one, get one going for the next, what did we say, 3
Years?
people.
Oh.
No, but for the next 3 people, if you become a paid subscriber
Until Chris makes shirts.
we'll give you 3 months. What did we say? Free? We'll have to check the tape. I made a deal.
You did make a deal, and now we should have wrote it down.
We should have.
We did record it.
We did.
Maybe you could be at the headest of the table. I didn't say that. Speaking of Ashley, my sister Marcy sent me a reel today on Instagram of a person touring the farmers market in Carnegie, which apparently is delightful. And I'm like, wow, this really is cool. I'm like, gosh, that voice sounds familiar. And I look, and it's Ashley Eats or something, and it's Ashley's
Cesarotto.
Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who sits at the head of the table.
Yeah.
Is a friend of ours and is the head of the Pittsburgh Foodies Facebook group. And now she's got, she had 1,800 likes on that alone. So she's
On that
doing well
reel?
for
She's
herself.
got a
Yeah.
following.
Wow.
Yeah, she's got a
She
following.
does. She does. And I'm honored to have gotten to know her and marry her and her husband. And it's all good. But I'm equally honored to have Emonie Campbell with us.
Yeah.
Emonie, give us your backstory. Tell us who Emonie Campbell is.
Well, oh,
I thought I would go with something you knew. Born where?
yeah. I was born in the Bronx, New York.
No way.
Yeah. And then my parents moved to Butler, PA, like when I was
A little different.
Quite the
Yeah.
transition.
Yeah.
The Bronx to Butler pipeline. They talk about it a lot.
All
Yeah.
the time.
very, very, very different. Growing up, I didn't know why we ever made that switch until I got like a little older. My mom really just didn't want to raise me like in the Bronx.
How old were you?
I was still very young. I was like 1 or 2. So I think I was like 2 when we officially moved.
So you don't have like the Bronx in your DNA. Like you don't really remember it.
I don't, but
Yeah.
I grew up with it from my mom. So I
Sure.
really like.
She brought the Bronx to Butler a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about what classes you took in elementary school.
Oh, so when I went to elementary, actually they put me in speech for 5 years because I had such a heavy accent,
Oh wow.
and they told me I couldn't pronounce words properly. So they kind of just took that right from me. So now when I go to New York, like my titi Rosie, she's like, "Ay, mira, you talk so country," and da 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 da. I'm like, "Thanks, I didn't choose this life; it chose me."
Who says that to you?
My titi Rosie, my aunt Rosie.
Titi Rosie.
So do you speak Spanish too? Are you bilingual?
No, so
Just the way she said that.
No.
No
She
say,
said it in a
no
bilingual
say.
accent, though.
Yeah.
so it still like lives in me a little bit, but then it switches in and out. But no, when we moved to Pittsburgh, it was very like just not very as diverse. So my mom didn't have anyone to speak Spanish to, so she just stopped speaking it altogether.
She didn't teach you. She didn't do
No.
it with you.
And that would have been very helpful. So now
Oh,
when I see
yeah.
her talk to other people in Spanish, I'm just looking at her, just side-eyeing her like, it could be me.
Yeah, right.
I could be in this conversation. Now I got to ask you to translate.
Yeah.
And trust that she's actually translating.
Yeah. Or when I was in high school, I would try to ask my titi Rosie for like help for Spanish because I would have Spanish at 7:00 in the morning. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. But she'd be like, I don't know no Spanish. I know this. She was like, I forget how she said it, but it was more so she just spoke Spanglish and she did
Yeah.
not know proper Spanish. So
Yeah.
she's like, don't ask me.
Oh, you're asking like, can you conjugate this verb? And
Yeah, she's
no,
like-
no conjugate.
No.
no.
Yeah, she started snapping at me. I said, never mind. Never mind. I'm sorry I asked. But yeah, I grew up in Pittsburgh. I like moved to Pittsburgh from Butler when I was, I think like before kindergarten. So still very, very young.
What part of Pittsburgh?
Wilkinsburg is where we first moved
Okay,
to.
yeah.
So my mom, actually, when we were in Butler, there's a whole story of Butler. Butler was its whole own thing.
You could give Roman numerals. You don't have to tell the whole story.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna be like, we've been here for a minute. But essentially, like my mom didn't want to raise me in the Bronx, and my dad was he was just like using drugs. But like I never knew that about him almost my whole life. He was just like a really great dad to me. And so they ultimately also wanted to move to get away from that. So moved to Butler. We move in a van with a mattress, a chair, a small like little TV.
Wow.
And I kind of found that funny because I would always say I would love to live in a van for like a year and just go travel.
Dream
You say
come
that
true.
now.
Yeah, I still say that.
Right.
Dream come true.
Yeah.
You already did it. You already did it.
You made it.
So I'm like, okay, this is where it's coming from. But yeah, mom didn't like Butler. I don't blame her because I don't like
Well,
Butler.
I mean, who does?
My dad ended up using again.
Wait, so he didn't move from the Bronx to Butler?
He did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, it was my
and
mom.
then you
who-
moved from Butler to get away from your dad.
to get away.
From the life of that your dad
Yeah,
was
just to
living.
get away
Understood.
from Butler.
Gotcha.
Period.
Gotcha.
Just like the crowd of who my parents were friends with and things. And my dad wanted to move again, so he wanted to move to Arizona. And my mom was just tired of moving, and we were.
I'm tired of you moving right now.
And but yeah, she wanted to stay closer to New York. That was too far, so they split. My
Her
dad
family's
moves
still
to.
there. Her family was still there. Is still there
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah.
Funny enough, a lot of them migrated to Florida, but like my intermediate family's still in New York. I have a family reunion coming up next month on the 1st, and I don't know anybody but like 3 people, so that's gonna be fun.
Where's it gonna be?
This is like past, what is that, New Rochelle, like up further up New York. I don't really know what it's called.
But okay, so in New York, people are
Yeah.
coming to New York. Got it.
Yeah, but this is on my dad's side, and I don't know that side.
Yeah.
So
Oh wow! And you're going?
yeah, it's gonna be
White
lovely.
Plains up that way.
I don't
New
I
York,
have no
Brian.
idea.
Yeah. New York. Above New York City.
Above New Rochelle?
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
be Old Rochelle.
Old Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Ah, Rochelle. You're saying.
But yeah, I'm trying to think.
Dad moved to Arizona. You moved to Wilkinsburg.
Yeah, and then my
So Dad did move to Arizona.
dad did move to Arizona. My mom actually stayed in Butler just for a little longer, and she met I call him Dad as well. So sorry if this gets a little confusing. I don't know how to separate the two. I'm gonna say Pumpkinhead. So that's my stepdad. That's his nickname.
Wow,
Since I
Pumpkinhead.
was little, yeah.
Is he-
My
He
little
has
sis-
a green stem coming out.
my little sister calls him Baldhead Skiddle Diddle, because he has a bald head now. So she smacks his head pretty often.
He does not have a high need for respect.
He doesn't like it, but but yeah, my mom met him out there, and then like so I've known him like all my life almost, not almost, but all my life pretty much. And so we moved to Pittsburgh because his family was in Pittsburgh, so that was also the reason for the move.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we lived in Wilkinsburg. From Wilkinsburg, we lived in Edgewood. I went to Edgewood Primary. That's what it was back then. And now they switched like 4 or 5 times. Yeah, and I kind of just, yeah.
You
Yep.
moved around a lot.
I did.
Even when you were here, though. Like, you were always in Woodland Hills School District.
Yeah.
But, like, you were where you first moved, then you moved in with your grandma, and then you moved back. And so you've had like 4 or 5 different places,
Yeah.
which might lead to her need for security not being high.
Yeah, when you're never really in a place like that and you're not putting down roots, that does something for,
Oh yeah, I never really thought of that.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the same, everything's the same.
Although Lex has a high, my wife has a high, her dad was in the Air Force, so they moved around to like all over the country. And she does have a higher need for security. I don't know I think it's developed a little bit more since she married me.
Wow.
But
again, that same childhood could result in a very high need for security because
Right.
you weren't used to
You don't
Right.
know when's the next time we're gonna go.
Right. Where
Yeah.
she's like, I was okay here. I'm okay there. I'm okay anywhere.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Right.
your relationship with your mom has always been very good.
It was really good when I was like growing up, like elementary school. When I was in 6th grade, at the time I had like a 3-year-old brother. And then in August I had a newborn sister. So my sister's birthday is like 4 days before mine. So I like was the only child for a little bit. That was fun. We go on family vacation with my dad's side of the family. My mom's mom had AIDS. So like she passed away when my mom was like in high school.
Wow.
And then so my mom had me when I was when she was 20. So she was like also just very young.
Yeah.
And things. And yeah, so she kind of got to learn to see like what a family like that's still together like looks like through his family. So a lot of their side was very structured, very like together. Very
Pumpkinhead?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pumpkinhead. Yeah.
They had a good- he came from a good patch.
Yeah. And stuff. So like a lot of what I experienced when I was around his family was a little different than like she was still learning, you know, like everything. So I was
Right.
like learning with her. I remember eating green beans for the first time. Like we never eat green stuff because we're Puerto Rican and we eat rice and beans and that's just it. Avocado, that's the closest thing to greens we're going to get.
Good green.
It's a good
But
green.
it might be my favorite green.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's probably mine too.
Yeah, and so like I just learned a lot through like his family and stuff, but occasionally like witness them argue. I realized like we came as a package and they were so young. So like as I got older, I also learned like, wait, he was just experiencing life too, and he wasn't ready to be a dad. Like he wasn't like, yeah, I think we're gonna settle down, da 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 da. And no, I came. I was just here. So I realized like older, like he just had a lot to. So that helped me understand, like, kind of forgive and, you know, kind of manage through when I was, like, a little older and younger. But, yeah, I lost my train of thought,
It was
you know?
started with your relationship with your mom was best.
Oh,
in elementary
wow.
school.
I don't know how I got that far. I do this a lot, so
It's all
sorry.
right. We'll bring you back each time. And there's a lot to your story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Mom. So yeah, when she had my sister, she ended up having a stroke like a few weeks
Oh my
after.
goodness.
So she had like a blood clot on her, like her vein, something with her brain, and like it stopped the blood flow. So she was paralyzed on her right side.
Wow.
So like she was told like she would never like walk or talk or take care of her kids or anything.
When that happened, where was she?
She was home alone with my sister.
With the newborn.
With my newborn baby
Oh
sister.
my gosh.
That's a scary moment
That's
for a mom.
terrifying.
Wow.
And we had lived in a 3-story apartment, so we were in the middle floor. Our downstairs neighbor, well, he was on house arrest, but he was funny. He was great. He'd always yell at my brother because my brother would just always run. So it was like Mr. Wilson. What's his name? What's that?
Dennis the
movie?
Menace.
Dennis, yeah.
Wow, that's sticking. For you're 25?
Yeah.
A 25-year-old pulling out
That's
a Dennis the
old for
Menace
me.
reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're as old as her mother.
Yes, I am.
Your name isn't Pumpkinhead, is it?
No, but I am bald.
So the neighbor.
Yeah, so my mom, I guess she's getting up. She's feeling like a little off. She went to the bathroom, rubbed her eye, all that. Was on her way back, and she was just starting like to lose like sight. She was starting to lose. So she collapsed on the floor. And she says like the only reason like why she even tried was just knowing my sister was on the bed by herself.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So she took whatever strength she had left on her other side, and she dragged herself to the door and like banged as loud as she could. And Mr. Will like heard it.
Wow.
He broke open the door. He found my sister.
He had experience doing that, I guess. Hence the house arrest. Right.
But yeah, he found her, and then we
Saved
had
your
like
life.
yeah, no, truly, very much, truly.
Yeah.
So
Where
that
were
was
you?
like, I don't know, to be honest. I don't remember at all. I might
Do you
have
remember
been.
when you found out?
Nope.
Wow.
I don't really remember much. Like that just
'Cause
kind
you're
of
11,
blew past.
right?
Yeah. So I was very, very young. Very, very young.
Yeah. That's still in the remembering zone, though.
Yeah.
Not too young. Yeah.
I might have just been at my grandparents or something. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like that's when things like really swapped. Like when she had that stroke, it went from like witnessing. I've only ever knew my mom, you know, like she was just like with me since day one, like through all the changes, like that's my
Right.
home and stuff. So
When you say swapped, what do you mean?
not like swap, but just like I went from such a carefree childhood to like
You became the caretaker?
Yeah.
Did you have to step in
Yeah.
and take care of her? Yeah.
Yeah, like even
And your sister
And
And-
brother.
and brother.
yeah, so even to like slightly kind of rewind just a little bit, when I last talked to my birth dad, I was 6. So I lost contact with him. And when my brother was born, my pumpkin had went off to jail, and I was told he was going to boot camp. So I was telling my teachers.
He
my
went off
dad-
to jail, you said?
Yeah, but my mom said boot camp and made it sound super pretty. And I started telling my teachers, and they start looking at me some type of way. And I'm like very observant. So I'm like, he's not at boot camp. Where is he at?
And you're how old? 7?
I think
Six?
I want to say I was like 6.
So you're in so you're first grade telling your teacher,
Yeah.
my dad went to boot camp. And they're like, gosh, how you don't have a high need for security.
It's incredible.
Even socially, in
Right.
that moment, you're like, why is that adult looking at me like I have 3 heads?
Yeah.
And having to figure that out. So keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And yeah, just from like, yeah. Oh yeah. So it's like me, my mom, and my brother. So like kind of pre-witnessing what it's like to have a single mom a little bit. Because while he was away, like I stepped up as like a big sister and stuff like that. And then he came back, and then my mom had the stroke like years later. And for my sister to be there now, so that was a very interesting, 6th grade was a very interesting year. But it was really hard to like see her go through rehabilitation and like say like, please don't leave me. And like,
Wow.
you know, just
say that again. So your mother would say to you, please don't leave me.
Yeah.
And you're 12 at this point.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. So that,
That's crazy.
I
That
get
was
it.
hard.
But
I get it
it's-
too. But
That's
like,
a lot for a 12-year-old.
that's a lot. Yeah, right.
That's a lot for a
right?
12-year-old.
Yeah, it is a lot.
And Brian, you were astute to point out, you said that's when things changed. You know, that's a big change.
Yeah.
To go
Right.
from mommy to the mommy saying, don't leave me. And, you know, it's kind of continued that way.
It's
yeah.
a lot of growing up in a short amount of time. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of just like questions that I had that like never got answered. And I would just like be observant more.
Like
and
what?
Just like, okay, we lost contact with my dad. That he would get in contact some way, somehow. So like I would get a little suspicious because it's been 6 to like 12. I'm just like, I'd always think my dad was like looking for me somewhere. Then for her to be like, why are you like why are you asking about a man that's not even here? And stuff like that. So
Because he's my dad.
Right.
I would be like, why I would want to answer that. But again, and I'm sorry for stepping all over it, Brian. That's important. Like, you didn't know. Like, they
Yeah.
didn't say, hey, listen, your dad's gone now.
yeah,
Right.
nobody sent me down.
Just, we're not going to talk about that. Which is the old school way to go, except she's not that old school.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking she's 70, but she's, you know what I mean? It's,
Right.
It's 15 years ago. So that's hard. That's tough.
Yeah. And I was living with my grandparents because Pumpkinhead was
Boot camp.
well, no, he was back.
Oh.
He was back. So by then, like they had like my sister, and he was already back from that. And like I also witnessed. Sorry, this is getting into it, but I also witnessed them getting an argument, and then he proposed at some point, and her threw a ring at him, and he left the house. So, like, there was just stuff I witnessed, and I was just like, you know, like,
Maybe that didn't go how he thought it might.
well, it didn't happen the same day, but like, I figured he might have like been cheating or like, you know, but like, this is me now, just not in my own zone. I'm like now all up in their business because their business, my business. So I was very much just like, oh, she threw the ring. Is he leaving? Like, it was just a lot of me processing a lot of things.
But not.
But
I mean, it's processing, but it's
no,
you're
yeah.
processing without any data.
Yeah.
Right. You don't know what's going on.
No.
What is happening right now?
Been saying that her whole life. No, but that's important. Like, you know, like X plus Y plus Z equals she threw the ring.
Yeah.
You don't got X, you don't got Y, and you don't got Z. And so you're left to go, well, could be this. How you don't have a high need of security blows my mind.
I didn't know.
Except for the obvious. I mean, you never had it.
Yeah.
You don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that fills in some gaps for me because I was going to ask you. You seem like you've got a lot of patience and a maturity, knowing what you do at Woodland Hills too. Working with.
Maybe. Why don't you, Phil? What do you do? Because not everybody knows that.
Yeah. So I am part of Young Life staff. Well, I do ministry with Young Life, and I'm on staff in the Woodland Hills High School area. Well, the Woodland.
We explained the drop. This would be a good time to point that out for everybody.
Yeah.
If you don't know, the sound clip you hear at the beginning of every episode is something taken out of context during the episode. So during the episode, we point those things out. And the other ones, little secret, they're at the end of the episode. That will be one of them. Odds are it's going to be at the beginking.
Yeah. So make sure you listen
There's
all the way to the end because there's
the
fun
way.
stuff
I got
at the
some
end
good
too.
ones going.
Yes, you do.
But so you are at Woodland Hills High School, and you do ministry in the school and with the kids.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that look like?
So really just giving like kids the best shot to like hear of like God, but also just like being a support system in their lives and like really just showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And like God had his nice little grip on me. So like to know what that means to me, but then also to like be able to give that back to students in the high school has been like everything. So I get to do that. I get to show up in their lives. I get to do life with them. And like I'll go into high school, I'll play some games, or I'm barging into classes like gym class and whatnot. And they're like, I thought you were a student. I'm like, read the badge. Or showing up at like games, or we'll do like Bible study. We'll do, we've just recently came from camp, which was great.
Tell them about Duncan.
We do Duncan every Thursday. So we just kind of like do Bible study, really just whatever God wants to do, because my kids have ADHD, I swear by it. So you could say squirrel and everybody looks like it's just, we get off guard.
But they're on Ardmore Boulevard.
Yeah.
They're in the lobby, and you said like the first hour you do homework as people show up. You help people with their homework.
So it's after school.
Yeah, right after school,
Yeah.
kids come straight down to Duncan. I realized some of them were like going home and still didn't do homework. So I was like, we're going to do an hour of homework.
Man,
And Donnie
you
helps him out, Bino.
Yeah,
I would have hated you when I was in school. I did not like homework.
The way it is I don't do the homework, okay?
Well, I definitely do give them like, hey, this is like your time to
Nah,
like,
but I would have
utilize
respected you.
it.
Though. I would have respected you. So you're there. You're there for a lot of kids that probably don't have a lot of people that are there for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So it's an hour of that, and then
we'll do like real life talk, or we'll do Bible study. So it's whichever ones the kids really need. Like if they got questions, if they just want to talk about life, like we can do that, and I'll find a way to like connect it in any way I can. Or sometimes they're just like, Monty, can we read Matthew? Like, can we, like, I've got questions about this. So I'd be like, if I don't know, I'm going to ask.
How do you, Jay talks a lot about, and I don't know if this is a Young Life thing or just a Jay thing, talks about earning the right to be heard. And I think like it's one of the biggest things that, I mean, we've talked about a lot of things in life, Jay, but I think that's, it's got to be in the top 3 things that you've left with me is earning the right to be heard, because it applies to anybody, anywhere, all the time. So how do you earn the right to be heard? How do you get in with these kids? How do they come to respect you? What do you do? I mean, I would imagine consistency is probably a big part of that, but how do you get these kids to, to be receptive, and how do you earn that right?
So yeah, like kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So it's really just like,
That's a good line.
You just show up. You show up and you let them show up, like literally just as they are. Like they don't really care for another person telling them like what they're doing wrong or what. They're just like, can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you like just
Acknowledge me.
acknowledge? Yeah, just simple acknowledgement and just like their raw, authentic self. And then it's just like, well, can we actually talk about this? Or actually, I got this going on in my mind. Or like, hey, I'm excited to invite you here or something like that. So it's really just like, just to show up to you as my like authentic self.
Well,
And
I think I'm sorry.
no, you're good.
One of your highest needs is belonging. And I think that probably is a strength when it comes to cultivating these relationships. Do one of you guys want to talk about what belonging is?
Belonging
Because
is.
I think you talk about it good because you have a high need for it.
I do have a high need of belonging. It means like you want to be part of a group, or group of friends, or even part of a team, or just something, doing things together and just being together. Yeah.
So if you have a high need for that, then I think that probably helps you quite a bit in what you're doing and connecting. I also want to ask you about where did you get your love for God? If you want to talk about it, if you're comfortable, how did you what's that journey for you? Because it doesn't sound like your history, your family history.
She didn't mention going to church every Sunday.
Yeah, you weren't you didn't have a mom beating you over the head with a Bible or something like that. Maybe she did, but you didn't talk about it. But where does that glow come from? Because you glow, you are very you're a very approachable person.
Has the aroma of Christ, as the Bible would
You
say.
do, yeah, and it does. So if you talk about a little bit about that.
Yeah. Funny little short story. When I first even heard of the 3-letter word God, I was really young, and my mom was like, "Hey, so there is someone called God, and he loves you very, very much, and he sees you, and he sees everything you do, and he cares for you."
Mom took it from here's a good thing to, so you better watch.
Yeah, right. A little Santa in there, and that God.
And so I guess I never questioned it. I just kind of took my mom said, it's okay. And she still laughs about it to this day. I guess I went into the bathroom when I came out, and I was just like, "So Mom, he says everything that I do, but can you just wait outside of the bathroom? Can we just have some space?"
We just have some space.
So when I first heard of God, that was my only first concern. It was just
Not your sin, but your poop.
Yeah. Just give me a minute,
space.
man. Just give me a minute. That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, when my mom was coming out of rehabilitation, my mom and my dad split. So mom and Pumpkinhead split. So that's when my world really turned up around. So I was wearing multiple hats because now it's dad's house every other weekend, mom's house. I'm helping her. She's still laying on the bed to hang your head upside down to be able to reach her hands high enough to put her hair in a ponytail.
Wow.
So then I have a newborn sister, 3-year-old brother. I'm just now going to middle school. So
might be a good time to talk about enmeshment.
Yeah.
what is that?
So enmeshment, when you go through trauma, which that period of time in your life,
I know I sound like I'm a learned man, but it's not my word. It's Jay's.
it's not my word.
It's not your word, but he's the one who taught it to me.
But you can go one of two ways. One is you detach, which is you don't. That's it. I don't care about anybody, anything. Enmesh is having a role thrust upon you that is not yours. So, for example, in the worst case scenario, incest. You're not supposed to be your relative's sexual partner. So that would be the worst example. But a very subtle example would be the guy who taught it to me said that his mother and he would talk after school every day. And it would be the most greatest conversation. At the very end, she'd say, "I sure wish I could talk to your father the way I talk to you." And he said it always just felt icky. And so
because
for
it
you,
is.
it is icky, right? So for you in this time, you're having to be a parent to your siblings. You're having to be a caretaker to your mother, and a best friend to a degree, or a
Counselor,
a friend to your mother who lost her husband.
Yep.
And so those are 3 roles you're not supposed to have. So yeah, you're going through this enmeshment period.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I'm trying to get to is I don't see any resentment or bitterness in you, and and maybe you do, but I think it's pretty amazing that you've had all these things. This is your lot in life. This is what life has given to you, And I mean, obviously, you're now at a place where you're making a lot more of your own life, but for a good significant part of your early life, these things were happening to you. And I think a lot of people can get very bitter, very resentful. How did that? I mean, are you? And if not, how? It's pretty remarkable.
I think growing like now, like in my 20s and like really stepping into my own life, that used to be like my biggest prayer, was just like realizing like, was just like realizing that like I've lived life for someone else for so long, and I didn't know what that was like to have my own. So even like now, I like, especially like this summer, I'm just like, wow, God, like I find myself continuously helping people, but like, God, like, do you still care about like what's on my heart outside of helping people? So I try to explore those things, and like also kind of not let it defeat me too much, of like knowing I could be so much farther than I am, but like also learning to accept and like trust like God's hand is just like, no, like he's never like let go of me. And that was more so like didn't have a choice.
Sure.
Because like, I don't know, I just feel like when you feel like your back's against the wall and like you're running out of hope, like the only way to look is towards those things. And like, that's what I had to do at some point. I want to say like 7th grade. So I did go to church. I did go to church every Sunday. My Nana, my Pumpkinhead side, his mom, she would like
Pumpkin Nana, go on.
Pumpkin
Nana Pumpkin.
we would go to her church, which was Petra International Ministries.
Oh, sure.
We love it. And so I could go to sleep. They didn't force me to listen. I did try Sunday school. I could not do it. I don't remember nothing from it. I mean, I do apparently now, but like,
Yeah.
Everything went over my head. I was just there for like friends and stuff.
Sure.
Sense of belonging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of like would just eat some, they got the mints in the purse.
Yeah.
You always gotta have those.
We called that shut up candy in my family. Keep the kids quiet.
Listen, I was taking like 5, 10 at a time. I still do. I go and they got a big fishbowl, and I'm just like, shh, thank you. But yeah, I remember just like having a moment in church where like the pastor was like talking, and mind you, I don't normally pay attention, but I don't remember what he said, but I never like, I don't think I ever felt so seen at that time in my life. I don't think I remember what that felt like until then. And I just like, you gotta like cut the mic and be like, all right, got a camera over here. Like somebody's like witnessing my life right now or something. And
Because he was speaking about you, to
Yeah.
the entire congregation.
yeah.
Except he wasn't,
Yeah.
but it felt like he was.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm. And so like from then on, I just like paid attention. And
So he was saying there's somebody out there.
yeah.
You
was
know,
just-
I'm talking to you, but he didn't say Emonie.
Like there's someone on my spirit, and I don't know who this is for, but the Lord, I was just like, you get the goosebumps and everything. So
And would you say you committed your life to Christ then?
I think I was willing to like give it a shot.
Right.
I don't think
That
I
the
was
start to it,
committed.
Like
Yeah.
a solid start. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I was very much like super committed, but I was just like, I do want to get to know like God more. And so I would like pay attention more, still didn't understand everything. And the things that like I needed to talk about, I didn't have an outlet to talk about still, just because, like mom was also battling like, okay, I don't want his family to see that I'm not doing this as well as they would. So she was always comparing herself to another way of life.
And how old were you at this time?
I was like in middle school.
Okay. Yep.
Middle school. So yeah, I then going through like my own troubles in, like middle school and stuff like that.
Middle school's the
the
worst.
It was
stage.
crazy.
It's the worst phase.
Yeah. Nobody knows who they're
was-
going to be
No.
yet. And, yeah.
It was great. I had like a side puffy bang, series. That was great.
The do.
It was great. I don't know what my fashion was like. That was terrible.
Oh, it's all bad.
I had
You're
like
raising
small
a newborn,
glasses.
a 3-year-old, and caretaking for a mother. I can't imagine you were like too consumed with style.
Actually, I really loved it.
Wanted-
I
Oh, I'm
did.
sorry. I stand corrected.
I really loved it. And then that was also like kids were also starting to care about what they dress
Sure.
like, because I was kind of like a tomboy a little bit. So I would come home dirty, like I'd have food on my shirt every other day or something like that. So like middle school, I'm like, oh, I'm also playing softball too. So I'm just like, now I'm around more girls, and I used to have all guy friends, and now I'm just like, now I'm, getting my girly stage and all that. So I started caring about like what I look like, but then I didn't really have like my mom to sit down like, like, oh, you're pretty without this, or she would say it, but I'm like, you, whatever. But yeah, I really just like met God like in that kind of a beautiful way, but I didn't really like commit my life until like high school.
There's two things if I may say. One is I think that you have such a childlike quality about you in your faith, and even still, just everything you said. I think there's this trust, there's this love, even though life has given you an adverse hand. You just have this trust, this childlikeness. Don't ever lose that. And I think the second thing is I think that your life is a testament to something I heard a pastor say. I don't know. It was like 10, 15 years ago. I heard the pastor say it. It's kind of how we raised our kids, where he said, God will, if you put enough kindling around your children's hearts of the Holy Spirit, just trust, or put enough kindling around your children's hearts and trust the Holy Spirit to ignite that. And I think that that's what I see in your life. You've had, your Nana or whatever you called her, and even your mom, hey, let's talk about God. And he sees you everywhere. Those are little seeds that have, or, little pieces of kindling that have been put around your heart. And I just see the Holy Spirit doing his work in you, in I don't want to say an effortless way, but it's really a very natural way to see that. And I think it's because of your childlikeness, your childlike heart.
Thank you. Yeah.
I agree completely. And I was just led to go in a completely different direction, and then it went right out through my ear. If you go not, to go too deep into the Bible, but Joseph's sold into slavery by his brothers, and then they come and beg for food from him when he's with Pharaoh. And he said, what the enemy intended for evil, God has used for good.
Yeah.
And I think that's really one of the greatest testaments to your life, is in each situation, you've had opportunities and been surrounded by a lot of evil and attacks from the enemy. And, people have let you down. And I'm not talking about your mother. I'm talking about other things in life. And yet you've used it for good, and now God uses you to be that light in the lives of so many other people. And then I had another thought, which I've already lost a second time. So I think that's admirable.
I had some.
Please go, Eric.
Because we've talked about high need for belonging. We haven't really touched on comfort and encouragement.
So just so you guys know, if you go to lunchtimeinrome.com, you can go to the relational needs questionnaire. And so these are Emonie's 3 highest are encouragement, comfort, and belonging, and her 2 lowest are appreciation and security.
Right. But there's also encouragement. My thing was like, out of the stories that Emonie has told, and you know her better than I do, obviously, but I feel like I know you a lot better now. But comfort, encouragement. Do you see anything like in her growing up, like where that came to be? I can see comfort. Well, you went through a lot. You need a lot of comfort.
I mean, would you say, Emonie? It would be my assessment that both belonging and comfort are 2 things you didn't, and really encouragement. All 3 you didn't get a lot of. There wasn't an identity, because you're Puerto Rican, but you were ashamed of it until you weren't ashamed of it.
Yeah.
You're from the Bronx. No, you're from Butler. No, you live in Woodland Hills. You've got a dad. No, you got a different dad. Wait, you have no dad. You have 2 dads. There's nothing there in any of that.
Right.
You're in charge to a large degree of the family. Now, I don't know if the grandparents on either side or your mom were encouraging, or was it more you got a to-do list?
So the only grandparents I really grew up with was Pumpkinheads.
Pumpkinhead.
Yeah. So my mom's parents passed away.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah, and then my dad's side of the family, I didn't really know.
Right. So there's really been nobody. So your intense need for belonging, I think, is the overall one.
Yeah.
Not the intense. Your high need of belonging. And then the fact that underneath that, there isn't anybody to encourage you so much, and no one to go to for comfort. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. I actually remember one time I tried to like open up to my counselor at school, and I told her, I was like, do not tell my mom. Whatever you do not tell her.
Why?
Yeah.
Was just because she didn't have to go back home with me to what she was going to cause, that I was going to be the one to have to face. So if it was just like my mom's now mad that someone knows and somebody is now looking at her a certain
Their
type of
business,
way.
because your mom's need of security being through the roof.
Through the roof, yes.
Which might be the reason why, one of the main reasons why, because like you said, one of the ways you knew that your mom cared about you
Yeah.
was she would always say, where are you? Where are you going? What are you doing? But then later on in life, you kind of realized that wasn't for you.
Yeah, it was for her.
That was for her. And it's interesting that her need for respect is in the middle. It's not like yours being insane, really high, Brian.
11. He's the only one that's gotten a score of 11 on respect.
Yeah, when 10 is the highest score. So with it, we only have a couple minutes left. But given that, and I really don't know the answer to this question, which is why I'm asking, who was R.D. Wilkes to you in high school? So R.D. was the Young Life staff guy who invited her to Young Life. But like, who was he to you? And did he meet any of those needs of belonging and comfort and encouragement?
So I met RD my senior year. I'd always like see him. When some of my friends did Young Life, but I was just like, yeah, all the popular kids go. I don't really want to go.
All the popular kids go. I'm not going because I don't belong in the popular kids.
It's crazy. I knew a lot of people in high school, and like I could be like genuine friends. I could sit at any table, but like I just never felt like I did belong, and that just was just what it was. I can only invite one friend back home, and she'd only know my actual life, and I'd be like, none of y'all can handle what I can handle right now. But
Rings flying everywhere.
yeah. But yeah, RD Wilkes, like I just like would see how he was like with all my friends, like when I first went to club my senior year, towards the end of my senior year. And then I stuck around like after high school, and he asked me, he was like, hey, Mom, you want to become a Young Life volunteer? I was like, yeah, sure. Like, why not? But like through the years, like he's definitely met me in like such a loving way. Like sometimes I'd be like joking in my head, I'm like, yo, he's like Mr. Splinter, like, or like or like I feel like the Karate Kid, and like sometimes like there's stuff like he's challenging me in, and like I need it. Like I'm so used to like being challenged in life. Like some people like to beat around the bush, and I'm like, no, please, like I'll be oblivious. Like let me know what it is. And sometimes he'll just like tell me like straightforward and just like, but also encourage me of just like, no, I see this in you. Like you can do this. Yeah. Here's where we need to sharpen it up. Or like, here's like what you can do, or like, hey, like I'm gonna give this task to you, or like, like things like that. And just like just being able to like witness just like how much like he like just seen me and like supported me, just like checking in on my life and stuff like that. And like
because not a lot of other people are doing that.
Yeah And so yeah, that was like RD's like OG. RD's forever OG in my eyes.
Wow, he met a lot of needs. And I don't even know if he knew that.
Not a clue.
Yeah, not a clue.
I don't think so.
No, he just knew Jesus and knew to go reach out to her.
That's amazing.
I know we want to wrap this up, but you said something that just broke my heart a little bit, where you couldn't really invite a lot of friends in because you didn't want them to see what your home life was like. So you kind of kept people, you had to kind of felt like you had to keep people at bay.
Yeah, it was also kind of like protection.
Yeah,
just
of course.
even for my mom, because it's like.
But what about you?
And
right.
And me.
No, but I'm saying,
yeah,
you had to protect Mom, but at your expense.
You couldn't invite people in, and so hence the need for belonging and
what I was going to point out, and I know I've said this to you, but that Rachel, my wife, RD was her Young Life leader, and then 20 some years later, he was your Young Life leader. But the interesting parallel is that Rachel would never have people over to her house because, like, that's why she hates to be late. That's where the two of them split off. Emonie has a great opportunity to improve her punctuality, but because she would be afraid when somebody was picking her up, she would wait outside because she didn't want anybody to come inside the house and see the way she lived. So if they were late, she's sitting outside in the cold, or if she was late, they might come in. So it's just an interesting parallel that he was there for two people like Emonie.
And she
like
has a high
Rachel.
need of security, and Emonie doesn't.
And she has no need for belonging.
Isn't that incredible? That's incredible.
It is incredible. It's almost like we're all individuals, and emotional needs manifest in different ways.
And also the same.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And yet it's always understandable if you dig just a little bit. So we will.
Well, I also wanted to say, is there anything else that you wanted to say, Imani, about you or anything before we close out the show? Anything on your heart? Anything on your mind?
Honestly, just thank you for having me on here. This has been
It was
like
a great-
Thank you.
It was a
It's
great
one of my
first
favorite episodes. Yeah, you will be back. So, yeah.
I'd be glad to be back.
Yeah. Just to have you.
And we have to bring Avery because we sort of promised that.
Yes, absolutely.
Avery's one of
Who's
our-
Avery?
Would you say she's
Absolutely.
one of your main girls?
Yeah, she is. She is. Oh my goodness, that girl. I can't wait for y'all to
When
meet
I
her.
met
Oh, I
Avery,
got both
I
of
was
you on
like,
at the
is
same
she a
time.
leader? Is she 26, 20? She looks a little bit older than Imani.
Yeah.
But she's going to be a senior this year. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
she's...
No,
she's
yeah. Sorry. Listen, she's like out here. She's getting certification. She's in camp.
Firefighter?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll have to introduce Maggie to her because
EMT
Maggie wants to be a
certified.
firefighter right now.
There you go. What?
She's EMT. Yeah, she's
That's
she's
awesome.
doing a
Typical
lot.
Woodland Hills girl. you
Yeah.
know.
Is she in the? Is she do theater? Is she in the musical?
She does. Yeah.
Okay.
She does.
I,
does it
I-
all.
Where did you pull that out of?
I think because Ethan went and saw the musical. I don't know. Maybe he's talked about her for some reason. I
Okay.
don't know.
Gotcha.
I say, I was so random.
I don't know. I don't know.
God just put it on your heart.
God put it on my.
She was in a
Right,
dream.
my heart.
Brian, that's weird. That's weird. Weird.
You shouldn't be dreaming about high school kids from other schools or your own school.
But yeah, no, two things I always like to remind myself, like forward is forward, like whether you're running, walking, or crawling. So I try to just like embrace that of like, and even stillness is just like, that is so powerful too.
Wait, I love that moving forward is good.
Yeah.
And that's a goal of yours.
Stillness.
And
Also
so is
good.
stillness.
Yeah.
Two things can be true.
You don't want to go back
Two
to
things can be true.
Yeah, backwards bad.
She's like, and second, backwards is amazing.
And lastly,
Staying still.
hypocrisy and conflict is delightful.
So second thing.
And one of my favorite scriptures is Jeremiah 29:11, which is, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans not to harm you, but to give you hope in the future." I think I said that right. But yeah, that's how I remember it. But that is what I hang on to that keeps me, is just like, wow, like my biggest I love you every day is like, I just wake up and I don't have to do or say or be or anything. I could just be, like, just breathe, and God loves me and he sees purpose in that. And I just want to seek every day of like, well, how can I honor where I am and figure out how to do that with you, because you see it. So I want to see it too.
Wow.
We were all like that at 25, aren't we?
Right? I might even like that right now. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be like, I got to do this all over again. No. Well, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Can't wait to have you back. And yeah, that is it for episode 290.
Woo!
Join us next week for, what's next week's date?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. It's not the
17th?
30th, is it?
23rd or 22nd.
Okay, so it's not the
something like that.
30th because we will not be here the 30th. I'll talk to you guys later about that. But join us next week for episode 291.
Way
Between
to wrap this up.
between now and who am I, Chris? Between now and then, please give us a like or follow on social media and visit us at lunchtimeinrome.com. While there, take our relational needs questionnaire. Thanks for joining us at the table for Lunchtime in Rome.
Ciao.
Chicken butt. Bye.
Bye.